The grocery store, the infinite banking lesson, the deep dive version. After watching this video, you will understand why the principles of starting, owning, and operating a grocery store provide the perfect lessons to achieve great success with infinite banking. This is the deep dive version. Hi, my name is Rip, and hopefully you're getting some value from my videos. If so, before getting into the video, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post new videos. Let's examine the process of getting into a business in which you are both a consumer and a seller of the same thing. A grocery store is a perfect example. You must start by studying what the grocery store business is all about. You must learn all the things that are necessary to be successful. This will take some time. When you feel confident to take action, you must find a good location, and everybody knows that a good location is expensive. This will take some time and money. Then you will need to construct a really nice building that has a well-designed interior with attractive equipment and fixtures and display cases and so on. This will take some time and a lot of money. Now you must stock the store with groceries. Merchandise must be of high quality, attractively displayed, and have competitive prices. This will take some time and a lot of money. Now you have to find the right employees who must be friendly, knowledgeable, neat, and courteous. This will take some time and is going to cost you a lot of money. Are you catching on to one of the lessons? It is going to take you a lot of time and a lot of money before you can even open the doors of your grocery store. Now you finally open the front doors for customers, and they come in, load their carts with groceries, and take them to the cashiers who collect their money. It is imperative that the employees continually monitor where goods have been sold from. Quickly go to the storeroom and restock the empty spaces on the shelves so the store always stays looking fully stocked, because who wants to go to a store that is out of a lot of these items? This means that you will also have to continually restock the storeroom to make sure that you always have immediate access to an abundant supply of goods. The objective of this business is to provide you with income and to build a business that you will eventually sell to someone else to provide you with retirement income. Once you get it all set up and running, the difference between the back door and the front door is a very good living, if you can turn the inventory enough times per year. If you sell a can of peas for 60 cents at the front door, you have to replace it at the back door at a cost of 57 cents. Grocery stores operate on a very small margin on such items. The can of peas sitting on the shelf for sale represents inventory. You must turn the inventory 15 times just to break even. There is all that interest that you must pay on the huge sums of money that you have borrowed to buy the land, the building, the signs, advertising, payroll and fringe benefits, utilities, legal fees, accounting, and so on, just to name a few. Turn the inventory 17 times and you will be profitable. If you can turn the inventory 20 times per year, you can retire early. Something dramatic happens once you get over the hump. It's similar to a phenomenon in physics. If you take water to the seaside at sea level and heat it up to 210 degrees Fahrenheit, all you have is very hot water. But if you heat it up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, you have live steam with unbelievable power. The steam engine changed the world, but it doesn't happen until you get past 212 degrees. Lots of heat goes into the process up to the boiling point, but the dramatic power comes suddenly. This far, the business looks pretty simple. But now we complicate the picture. Assuming that you are married, with children, where is your better half going to shop for groceries? At your store or somewhere else? Let's assume that they choose correctly and shop at your store. They come in the front door and fill their cart with groceries. Here comes the complicated part. Please pay close attention. This question I'm asking, the point that I'm trying to make, is critical and requires brutal honesty. Which door is your better half going to take the groceries out of? The front door or the back door? While helping people learn about the infinite banking process, I ask them this question and always wait for their answer. Most people know that the correct answer is out the front door, but they always struggle with the probability that their better half wants to go out the back door and avoid the cashier at the front door. This is theft. More businesses have been destroyed or severely limited by this sort of behavior than anything else. It's a feeling among owners and those related to them that this is our business and we can do anything we want. But unless this misunderstanding is stopped, the business is doomed. I remember when I was a tool dealer, dealers all around me would come into the business and then go out. One particular dealer I took a liking to, and we met quite frequently. I noticed that in his garage he'd started accumulating tools. It looked like they were for himself. First a set of wrenches, and then some pliers, and then some socket sets and extensions. And then I noticed a welder sitting there that looked like it had just been used. I had to finally ask him, "Are you buying all these tools from yourself?" His face immediately scrunched up and looked at me with a confused look. He started replying really slowly. "I own everything," he announced. I clarified. "You mean your business owns everything?" "And I own the business," he defended. "But if you're taking inventory off of your truck and putting it into your garage, where you'll be keeping it for yourself and not selling it, you have to pay for it." I stated this not understanding his thought process. "Do you pay for everything that you take off of your truck?" he asked me. "Of course. I even keep my own red payment book and my own account recorded in the business's books. If I didn't, my inventory would be off." Long story short, after his next inventory, he was missing product. The inventory after that, he was missing even more product. And the inventory after that, I think, is when he started preparing to get out of the business. So if your better half is going out the back door with all of their groceries, don't you think that your employees would see this? And wouldn't your employees start going out the back door with all of their groceries? Of course they will. And then, who will pay for all of this theft? It has to be the customers who go past the cashiers with their goods and pays for them. It can't come from anywhere else. Theft is devastating. Consider this. If your better half steals just one can of peas, you have to sell 20 to make up for it. There's another thing that makes owners and their families want to go out the back door. Every business in the United States has a silent partner. It's called the Internal Revenue Service. If your better half goes out the front door and pays retail for their groceries like everyone else, then your store makes more money than if they went out the back door. The IRS's position is the more you make, the more we take. What if we could have a situation where the profits from the sale of groceries are not subject to income tax? Now we have eliminated one of the incentives to go out the back door with groceries. The only problem that remains is a human instinct to want to use the back door privilege. This urge must be overcome. Your business is at stake. However, you and your family, and maybe some others, are captive customers for your store, meaning that through thick and thin, they'll be loyal customers to you. You all are not going somewhere else to buy groceries. Hopefully by now you should realize that if you charge these captive customers wholesale prices, you've defeated the purpose of the business, to provide income for you and to build a business that you will eventually sell and be able to use the proceeds for retirement income. If you charge them retail prices, you're going in the right direction, but these are captive customers. So why not charge these folks 62 cents for the can of peas? The extra 2 cents will go directly to additional capital to buy more cans of peas to sell to the other customers. Hopefully you can see what continued use of this practice can do to the profitability of your business. Do this over a long period of time, and your record books will show superior profitability picture. When you go to sell your business, you are in competition with someone else who has not obeyed these principles. They and his family members took their groceries out the back door. The record books of this person's business will never look as good as yours, if they are even still in business. If they are still around, can you guess which business will bring the better price? Yours, of course. I hope that you have learned this grocery store lesson well, as I myself am always referencing and revisiting it. If you do understand the grocery store lessons, the rest of learning how to start and practice the infinite banking process and become your own banker is a piece of cake. I hope this helps. Thanks for stopping by.